Yo, let me check out. Let me check out if y'all can hear me. Can y'all hear me clearly? Can you hear me clearly? Let's go. Let's get. Hold on 1 second. Definitely want to find out if you guys can hear me. Give me a second here. Damn, I'm not even showing up. What's the dealie, yo? Oh, here we go. Up. Oh, here we are. What's the dealie, yo? Oh, here we go. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, y'all can hear me. Okay, what's good? What up, people? It's your boy, the host with the most. I do not brag or boast, and I'm coming to you guys live from coast to coast. It's your boy, Chris the Dom One, the official place where you can get all your entertainment need. Okay, you got the fiend, I got what you need. All right, rate, comment, subscribe, share this with your friends, family, as well as your followers. If you want to further support the channel, hit the join membership button. Remember, membership has its privileges. And always remember, the YouTube algorithm know of me, but it doesn't really know me. So I need y'all guys' support by subscribing, hitting the notification bell, hitting the like button, sharing it with your friends, family, and followers. All right, let's get into it. All right. So this is going to be one of those, I might put it under the category of too early for this podcast. Make this into an official episode. But we got some topics I want to discuss. The first order of business I want to talk about and address is King of the Hill. So if y'all not aware or misinformed, I talked about this on Too Early for This podcast. That's why I think I should make this a Too Early for This podcast episode. But I did tell you guys, don't remember the episode number, but I did remember telling you guys we did a segment on it about King of the Hill is returning. It was going to be on Hulu. That was going to bring back the old cast. The old creator, Mike Judd, is going to be producing this reboot of King of the Hill, which, fun fact, that Mike Judd is also the same guy who created Beavis and Butthead. And here's some more gems that you probably didn't know. Hank Hill was actually introduced on Beavis and Butthead. Now, his name, the character wasn't named Hank Hill, but the guy who was voicing Hank Hill made his voice made an appearance on Beavis and Butthead, and that character sounds the exact same way as Hank Hill. All right, so there's some little jewels there that I just dropped for you guys, but that's neither here nor there. That's not what we're really talking about. We're talking about King of the Hill. It's a reboot. It premiered on Hulu. I'm not sure that it premiered last month or this month, but nevertheless, it did premiere. All the episodes are available for your leisure. You can watch them whenever you want to watch them. And episode 1, I'm going to review episode 1. Now, for those who've been living under a rock, allow your boy to explain. If you have never seen King of the Hill, the concept of King of the Hill was this American Texas family born and raised in Texas. They loved the Hank Hill loved the Dallas Cowboys. Hank Hill had a 9-to-5 job, which he sold propane to Strickland Propane. The wife, which I briefly called selective amnesia. I just had her name in my head. I forgot her name. I do apologize. Peggy Hill was a substitute teacher in middle school. She thought she was the smartest person in Texas, but that was Peggy's imagination, thinking that she believed that. Anywho, you had Dale. Dale was the neighbor who, was into conspiracy theories and things of that nature. You had Boomhauer, who was, he was pretty much an unknown. He was one of those unknowns, a popular unknown. You really didn't know the origin story of Boomhauer, throughout the whole season of King of the Hill, they would, put in little teasers about who Boomhauer probably could have or may have been. The last episode, here's a little fun fact, you probably not aware of it, but the last episode of King of the Hill, that was my alarm, I'm sorry. The last episode of King of the Hill, I am okay, you're a warrior. Okay, all right. But nevertheless, we're gonna get into it. So, um, the last episode of King of the Hill, they introduced Boomhauer's origin story. We want to call it an origin story. Apparently, Boomhauer was a U.S. Marshal. That's a little fun fact. You probably didn't know that. You probably wasn't aware, but you're now aware. Okay. So, and then you had the son of Hank, Bobby Hill. Bobby Hill was he wanted to he wanted to be a comedian. He was everything that Hank wasn't when he was a kid. When Hank was a kid, his father, really didn't show him no love or support or anything like that. And Hank, wanted to be in Bobby's life, but a lot of things that Bobby believed in, Hank really didn't co-sign about, like him being a comedian and things of that nature. But that was the misinformation of Bobby Hill. Okay, it was a roller coaster of a ride of a journey if you want to follow his backstory. All right. And Bill Dotree. Bill Dotree was another neighbor who had the mad hots for Peggy Hill. He was the only one that was attracted to Peggy Hill other than Hank Hill. Dale's wife got into an affair with John Redcorn, and he got her pregnant, and she had Dale believe this whole time that she got pregnant by Redcorn, and had Dale believe that was his son, and he treated him like that was his son. All right, everyone on the block knew the truth except Dale, this conspiracy theorist that couldn't trust nobody, things of that nature. He didn't believe that. All right, I mean, he was the last to know. He still doesn't know. Okay, even after 8 years plus a rebuild, plus this rebuild of a season, he still doesn't know, and he probably will know in this season. I only watched one episode. All right, so you got the backstory of the King of the Hill, and it was a pretty funny animated show that debuted on Fox. It was very funny. It was ahead of its time. I thoroughly enjoyed King of the Hill, and I would, every Sunday I would, plant my butt to the television watching King of the Hill. And, King of the Hill meant a lot to me so much. I would watch the reruns of it, on streaming services or on television. It's syndicated. So I was a huge King of the Hill fan. There's not one thing I did not know about King of the Hill. I mean, I love King of the Hill. All right. So when I found out that they was going to reboot this, the King of the Hill universe, I talked about it here on Too Early for This podcast, and I told you guys that it was going to be rebooted. They were going to have the old cast, and it was going to be on Hulu. All right. And I thought that was a big win for King of the Hill fans. Okay. Particularly the last season of King of the Hill. I felt like the last season of King of the Hill, they just threw something together. They didn't really end a lot of narratives or the stories. They just, it was just as is. And I think now I heard a backstory to this. Mike Judd thought that they was going to have another season of King of the Hill, and then he was going to contemplate whether or not to continue King of the Hill, which that probably would have been the final season of King of the Hill. And, an extra year, they would have smoothed things over, closed a lot of stories and chapters and things of that nature. But the backstory is the last season of King of Hill was a rush job. It was a complete rush job. They just put something together, and it threw Mike Judd and them off guard that they were not going to be renewed for next season. So the last official season, if you want to call it the last season of King of the Hill, it wasn't a very good season to us as King of the Hill fans. Okay, I'm not sure Mike Judge is proud of the last final season of King of the Hill, but Fox didn't want to renew it, and it is what it is. So, got all that on out of the way. Let's talk about the new season of King of the Hill. So the episode starts off, it introduced you to the old cast. Really nothing has changed with Hank or Peggy. It introduced Hank and Peggy. Hank still works for Strickland, but he got transferred in Dubai. So he was selling propane in Dubai. And he had a fun time with it, but he had reminisced of Texas. He missed Texas because he was gone for so long. All right. And Peggy is still Peggy. Peggy has not changed, not one iota, not one bit. She thought she speak fluent Muslim to the people there. They didn't understand a word with Peggy. So it's the same storyline when Peggy was thought she could speak fluent Spanish, and she did not know a thing about Spanish. All right, so they're borrowing the same punchlines from the previous season. I think with Hank Hill, and they also borrowed a lot of concepts of Hank Hill trying to reintroduce himself to the new world, sort of say, and the conflict, the sort of humorous conflict he had trying to understand how the world works today. So yeah, they come back to Texas. They thought they was going to miss Texas. When they get to Texas, everything has changed. Okay, everything has been flipped upside on its head. All right. So Hank Hill, everybody changed in Hank Hill. John Redcorn, Nancy Dribble, they got them a YouTube channel, and they're basically promoting, Nancy. She's a realtor now, and she's making these short skit stories, and they're doing YouTube videos to let the world know that she's a realtor. And I felt like that was the funniest part out of the whole episode, particularly when they're reading the comments of their YouTube video. Peggy and Nancy reading the YouTube comment, and this time about, she's a nice realtor. I wouldn't mind her selling my first house, buying my first house for me. And then the last comment says, I think that guy is tapping Nancy, meaning John Redcorn. John Redcorn he's not the same like he was in the old King of the Hill, where he was slender, had a muscular physique, and long hair that he puts in a ponytail. John Redcorn is thicker. He's a little fat. He kind of reminds me of not Dale. Oh my God, I forgot his name already. I just mentioned his name out of freaking forgot his name. Bill Dotree. John Redcorn got that Bill Dotree type of body, but somewhat attractive. Okay, so now you get the understanding of Nancy and John Redcorn dynamic, and I'm pretty sure this is gonna play out through this whole entire season. So I already talked about Hank and Peggy, Nancy, and John Redcorn. Um, they just threw, to me, I felt like the first episode, they just threw um oh my god, I forgot his name. The man to go, man, tell you what, man. Boomhauer. They just threw Boomhauer in the episode. Boomhauer, out of everybody, Boomhauer has not changed. Oh my god, what is going on with this alarm? I thought I turned it off. All right, so I apologize for that. I apologize for that, folks. Okay. So, yeah. Uh where was I? Yeah. So they just threw Boomhauer into this episode. So Boomhauer has not changed. He's still in the neighborhood. Then they introduced a new character, this black guy. I forgot his name. He's just there for comedic support and to streamline these stories together. I guess he's like the narrative to get Hank Hill caught up on what has transpired since he left Arlington, Texas. A lot of things has changed, and he should be about it. He should know about it. Bill Dotree, ever since Hank Hill and Peggy left overseas, Bill Dotree just was stuck in he just stayed in his house. He DoorDash, he got bigger and fatter. So I'm pretty sure that's going to be a story that's going to be played throughout the season. Um, that's pretty much the whole concept of everybody. And Dale somehow, some way got now he's an elective official. He's an elected official. Okay, I forgot what he was. I don't know if he was a senator or whatever. Uh, he put in a lot of policies everybody wanted. Some dumb things, a lot of dumb things, and he went on and did those things because he wanted those votes. And he basically used his platform for the bigger picture, which was for Dale Dribble. Okay, so you got that aspect, and that's pretty much the first episode. And I'll be honest with you guys, I was not thrilled with the first episode. I felt like this was the worst King of the Hill episode out of all the King of the Hill episodes. I think this is by far worse than when Superphone Khan, when he didn't take his medication. He's got this medication that he has to take that makes him normal. And that was like the last episode of King of the Hill when it was on Fox. And I didn't think that was a good episode either. I just thought it was just a bunch of stuff they just crammed together. Oh, and Bobby, Hank's son, grew up. He's a man now. He owns his own restaurant and is very successful. But Bobby misses being the old Bobby, going to college, having fun with his life and things of that nature. When Bobby was a kid, his life wasn't really scripted. Now, as a grown man, his life is more scripted and it's more boring. Okay. They didn't really explain why he gave up on his dreams and aspirations of being a comedian, but I'm pretty sure they're going to talk about it and re-bring it up on this new episode of King of the Hill that premieres on Hulu. All right. So you got that aspect. Okay. And he ran into his old ex-girlfriend. And, basically, Bobby was, he was at his restaurant. And these college kids came to eat. And one of the girls asked him, could he join them to a party? Bobby agreed, but he had to take care of his responsibilities in the restaurant. Once he took care of his responsibilities in the restaurant, he went to the party, had a good time, met the girl. They went upstairs. The girl slept with him, and woke up the next morning. Obviously, it was just a one night stand. So he had a one night stand with this girl, and now he's walking out of the university and ran into Connie. Connie used to be Bobby's ex girlfriend when they were kids, and they didn't really explain what she was doing there because she didn't even go to that college. But they insinuated basically Connie pretty much did the same thing what Bobby did, a one night stand, a wham bam, thank you ma'am, and now she's moving on and she understands. So I'm pretty sure this story is going to develop throughout this season. But yeah, that's pretty much the perspective of season one. And I didn't think episode one was great. I thought it was it was poorly executed. It wasn't as funny. The old King of the Hill, it was some funny punchlines or some funny things that was going on that you got to chuckle. Sometimes you got a real serious laugh. Uh, with this new King of the Hill, I didn't see, other than that one joke about John Redcorn tapping Nancy, there was really nothing else there throughout the whole entire episode. The whole entire episode was boring. I was not happy with episode one. And to be perfectly honest with you guys, I don't even want to see episode two. But I feel like since I'm a huge King of the Hill fan, and I'm one of those type of people that if I watch one episode, I'm already committed. I got to just go ahead and finish watching all the episodes because I feel like if I watch only one episode and then put it away, it just doesn't, to me, it feels like it's incomplete to me. And I'm one of those weird guys that, like, if a series come out, I watch one episode of something, I'm going to generally watch the rest of the episodes like you're supposed to. All right. And MGM has a new series called The Institute. There's like 8 episodes already that done came out, and I'm already on episode 3. And I feel like even with that show, uh, it doesn't captivate me. It doesn't really hook me in. But the story is pretty decent, and you kind of want to see where it goes. Okay, and I feel like that's good enough to keep you trapped, keep you locked in and trapped. But as far as this new King of the Hill, I did not like it. It wasn't good. It wasn't even funny. The writing, I'm being honest with you, the writing was terrible. Nothing really made sense. Um, and like I said, they got the whole season to develop this thing, and maybe that's what they're doing. So to me, I give this I give this a bad grade. I give this a really, really bad grade. Wasn't happy with it. And, this is one of those times where I'm asking myself, should I give it a second chance and watch episode 2? Is there something in episode 2 that's going to catch my attention to watch the remaining episodes? And I'll be honest with you, I just told you about the Institute. That's on MGM Plus. That's available for me to watch. That new Alien series for Hulu, that's going down this week. I can literally wait and start go back to television and just watch that. Even with MGM Plus, their biggest show even though I watched all the episodes from season 1 to season 3, uh, I can see myself rewatching those older episodes. All right. So, it's just too much stuff out there, plus the movies and things of that nature. it's just too much to invest. It's just too much out there to invest in something that you really don't have a lot of faith in, and it's just simply not as good. I didn't expect this reboot of King of the Hill to be better than the original one, than the OG one, but I was really expecting a lot, uh, due to the fact of me being a King of the Hill fan and getting some King of the Hill news. I thought this was going to be uh special, and it clearly wasn't. But yeah, I give this 2 thumbs up. You guys tell me what you think in the comments section. What do you guys think? Am I tripping, or this is an actual fact? Okay, so yeah, that's my review of King of the Hill. I don't know if you guys saw me playing Battlefield 6 earlier today. I'm gonna give you some of my quick thoughts of Battlefield 6. Uh, I thought this is better than the last Battlefield 2042. A lot of things that the fans of Battlefield wanted to see EA do with this next upcoming Battlefield, which is Battlefield 6. They wanted a lot of those things in the new game. A lot of those things that y'all want, they put it in the game. Um, and like I said in my live stream, I only played it for 3 hours. I've seen enough. I literally seen enough. The class system is back. It's not the same as 2042. Um, they also say that there's going to be a campaign for Battlefield 6. 2042 did not have that. I like the way how the gun factors in, particularly on online. It's not stiff. It's not sticky. It's very loose, and the precision is better. Uh, and like I said in that live stream, I feel like this is going to surely make a lot of sales on Battlefield 6. And that's real bad news for Activision and Call of Duty. Because the only thing we heard about this new up and coming Call of Duty is, a new story, and the way how they're going to perceive this new story. All right. They haven't really talked much about the multiplayer, and maybe the reason why they're not talking about multiplayer, because they want to keep that under wraps. They really don't want to talk about it too much because they know that's their strong suit. That's its selling point. But I really do think, and I really do believe Battlefield 6 is going to be competition for Call of Duty. I think this is going to be a down year for Call of Duty, to be honest with you, unless they do something extraordinary, fantastic on this new Call of Duty. Then it is what it is. So yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got for tonight. I'm gonna try to come back next time, same bad channel, chop it up with you boys. If I get up early today, I might hop on Battlefield, and I might not hop on at all. But guys, tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. It's your boy, the host with the most. I do not brag or boast. I'm coming to you guys live from coast to coast. I'm up out of here. I'll talk to you guys later. Deuces.